The Las Vegas Raiders are set to sign quite possibly the most Raider player ever.
Y'all know the worst nightmare of y'all life? All y'all gonna have to become 92, bro. No. Where you from? Don't touch me. Yeah, square ass. Fuck that shit now. You mean?
Marcus Peters knows how to bring the drama. Marcus Peters plays with a ton of passion, and the Raiders have a real need right now at the cornerback position. And it is quite possible that if everything goes according to plan, this move could land the Raiders in the wild card this year. We are gonna break all this down. If you want us to upload more content, well, we need more subscribers, so make sure you click that red button for more videos like this. You know I love going to football games, whether it's the pros or college ball, and even in the off season, I'll check out some weird sports like freaking soccer, and I love finding the best deals. This video is sponsored by SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticketed app. Football season is around the corner. The schedule is released. The tickets are available. I've used SeatGeek before to go to certain football games, hanging out at the Coliseum with the fans, getting a little rowdy. I was in Vegas when we made the playoffs at the tailgate. I had tons and tons of fun. And even recently I went to a soccer game because it's off season. I was bored as hell, and I do not like soccer. I'm sorry to say it. I like American football. But it was great that SeatGeek has all these different events that you can go to, whether it be any kind of sport, professional, semi-professional, or even concerts. Even if you want to go to the opera, take your wife out. Audrey even dragged me to a music concert, but you know you're primarily going to use these tickets to go see a football game this fall in Vegas or any city around America. And SeatGeek gives you a rating to show the best value of a ticket. That's what's so amazing about it. And you know I came through for you guys. Use my promo code WiFi for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code Wi-Fi. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And hopefully I'll see you guys at a real football game this year instead of soccer. Marcus Peters, drafted in 2015 by the Kansas City Chiefs, might actually be the most Raider player ever. We know he's gotten into fights with Michael Crabtree. He loves to talk trash throughout a football game. And this caused some problems where Marshawn Lynch, his cousin actually, had to step in and help chill Marcus Peters out while they're in Oakland. And Marcus Peters and Marshawn Lynch ended up hitting up the town. They even rode the Bay Area Rapid Transit right after the football game. Peters has also gotten into it with another former Raiders wide receiver, and that is Amari Cooper. While he was with the Cowboys, he rattled this guy up good. Amari Cooper is usually dead quiet, and Marcus Peters had this man losing his mind after the Cowboys took a L to the Rams. And what's crazy is Marcus Peters is even not afraid to get into it with other fans. He is not afraid to get in your face just because a keyboard warrior got brave one day and decided to holler some stuff out at Marcus Peters while he was chilling on the sideline.
Where you from? Don't touch me. Yeah, square ass. Fuck that shit now. You mean?
I don't think that fan's gonna be going to another game anytime soon. And it's not just the fact that Marcus Peters is very competitive, he has a tough mentality. It's not just those facts as to why he's a good fit with the Raiders. He's also, born a Raiders fan. He grew up in Oakland, was a Raiders fan his whole life, ended up being drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. He can't do anything about that. And he's always had this vague interest with the Raiders. There's always been this flirtation between Marcus Peters and the Raiders. Will they one day unite? Will it one day work out? And it reminds me of Marshawn Lynch with the Raiders. This whole time throughout his career, there was always these soft rumors around this yearning to maybe one day connect. And this is happening right now with Marcus Peters. Raiders fans have always wanted this guy, and right now in this moment, the Raiders do not have a solid veteran cornerback. They also did not draft a corner high. They only drafted Jacorian Bennett in the 3rd round. And Nate Hobbs, I like the guy. I think he's great, but this regime did not draft him, and he really balled out in that cover 3 Gus Bradley scheme as a nickel corner. And since then, he's dealt with injuries, and we're not really quite sure if he's a scheme fit for what Patrick Graham wants to do. Marcus Peters is a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, but he regressed while he was with the Baltimore Ravens towards the end of his 3-year contract that he signed in 2019, tearing his ACL in practice in 2021, making him not available for that entire season. season, but in 2022, he started 13 games, only missed a few games there in his last year with the Baltimore Ravens. So Peters showed that he was able to bounce back from that injury, but has he bounced back high enough to be considered that Pro Bowl player? Well, that is yet to be determined. But I do not think Peters is going to cost a lot of money because he was just paid by the Baltimore Ravens, and clearly the Baltimore Ravens have not been eager to re-sign Peters. They haven't developed a new contract together. For whatever reason, maybe they don't think Peters is worth the kind of money that he wants. He is already 30 years old, but I think the Raiders need a veteran presence in that cornerback room, and Josh McDaniels and the Raiders are clearly interested in this guy because they have brought Marcus Peters in on a visit. And what typically happens with these visits is the player ends up becoming signed. It's usually just a formality to make sure they pass the physical, make sure the contract's all good. So the Raiders are set to grab Marcus Peters right now, and he can definitely improve this cornerback room. He could be a great mentor still for Nate Hobbs, who's only 23 years old. Jacorian Bennett, the new draft pick, is only 22 years old. And David Long Jr. is 25 years old. Duke Shelley is 26 years old. These veterans who brought in on one-year contracts. Marcus Peters could be a good mentor for all of these young guys. And right now, who would really be a better mentor than somebody like Marcus Peters for this cornerback room at this moment? Since Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have arrived, the Raiders have seemed like they wanted to reshuffle the cornerback room. They did not extend Casey Hayward. They traded away the former second-round pick Trayvon Mullen, who was battling injuries. But they did keep Amik Robertson, the 2020 fifth-round pick and the only 2020 draft pick, still on the Raiders roster. That was a tragic draft class. So maybe Amik Robertson as well can carve out a role for him on the Raiders roster, along with the undrafted free agent Sam Webb, who we saw appear in a lot of games last year. But this definitely makes the Raiders defense better. Adding somebody like Marcus Peters, we know the defensive line is practically complete. Yes, the interior could be better, but the Raiders did grab Jerry Tillery towards the middle of the season last year. It does seem like they believe in Byron Young, the third-round pick defensive tackle from Alabama, and they're obviously expecting a jump from Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell Jr., who they drafted last year. But the D-line seems complete. The safety room seems complete. The only question was cornerback. Are the Raiders all in on these one-year vets like David Long Jr. and Duke Shelley? And now it seems like they're eager to add to that room and help complete this defense that is better than last year. The defensive roster is at least clearly objectively better than last year. I think Josh McDaniels on the offensive side of the football has taken the gamble that Jimmy Garoppolo and Michael Mayer will be an upgrade over what the Raiders had last year on the offensive side of the football. But now when you're looking at the Raiders defense, you're only really looking at linebacker as a place where the Raiders can upgrade, and also interior defensive tackle, but that's more of a cherry on top because there is a couple lottery tickets there, a lot of rookies who could possibly pop off, who are gonna get some playing time this year. Either way, let me know how you feel about the Raiders cornerback room right now. I'm dropping Raiders content on this channel. I'm dropping NFL content on my WiFiWillie NFL channel. And I'm also gaming, chilling. Who knows what I'm doing on WiFiWillie Live? Make sure you subscribe to all these channels for more content from me. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.